What's going on, everybody? Mr. Powers here, back with some more Dark Souls board game miniatures. Today we're looking at the bosses and the mini bosses that I painted a while ago. Alright, remember this is my first set of minis I ever painted. I did these after I did the smaller pieces, so I felt a little more comfortable. Here we have the big knight, I forget what he's called, from Dark Souls 3. I started with the deep blue on all his cloth, the war paint's deep blue for his cloth. I really like how it came out, that deep blue color really comes out well in this guy. And then we have the leather brown war paints from the belt, for the belt. And then for the armor, I went with the Vallejo gunmetal gray. I think that looks really good on this armor. I just did the whole axe with it too. I definitely want to come back to it and definitely get some blood markings on there. I got some good glistening blood paint that does some really good like staining on weapons. I'd also like to come back and get these feather-like things. Maybe get some white at the end there. Maybe get them to look like feathers a little bit. But it's pretty basic paint job, I would say. Just mostly gunmetal gray with the deep blue and the brown for the belt. The gunmetal gray has such a nice shine to it. He came out really well. Here we have let's do this guy first, the Titanite Demon. This, I believe, is also just gunmetal gray the whole way through. It was super simple. I went with, I forget what red I used for that. Let me see. I might have used dragon red for that. I didn't have the glistening blood yet. Either dragon red or maybe pure red. One of the two, but I definitely want to get the glistening blood on there for it. I think that'll look better. Put a little bit of blood marks on his weapon just for some personality. But he came out really well. Super easy to paint. I was a beginner when I painted this, so I wasn't too skilled, but it did come out pretty excellent. I was very happy with how it came out. This piece really gave me confidence in my skills. You know, it showed me that you don't have to be an expert to make a piece look good. It really got me going. Next, here we go. A lot of people argue on how to say his name. I used to say Smough because, you know, the dragon from Lord of the Rings. I just thought the name fit him so well, the heavy hammer Smough. But, you know, I learned that the giant archer in Ulasil, his name is spelled the same. His name is Hawkeye Gough, G-O-U-G-H, and that's how Smough is spelled, with the G-H at the end, the O-U-G-H. So, you know, his name might be Smoth, but I think that just sounds so weird. So I still call him Smough. I went with the gold all around. And then I believe I did a flesh wash just to get some dirty looks in there, because I didn't want the armor to look pristine. I wanted it to look kind of dirty to match the orange stain that I did in my other video. But yeah, he came out pretty good. I've seen other people do crazy amounts of detail on it, but I was a beginner. And I was super happy with how this came out. The hammer likes to drag down a little bit. But yeah, just that dirty look was enough for me. And the black primer that I use on all my pieces helps if you miss any spots. It just looks a little dirty. Like in there, I missed a bunch of spots in there. And it just has like that grimy look that he's been wearing this armor for a long time. Came out really well. Yeah, like down here too. just not perfectly painted, but it just less is more, I guess. It just added some character to it. Like some people think like I might have tried to go for that, but no. It was just me not being the best painter. And it ended up working out for me. Okay. Here we go. Next we'll do the Gargoyle. This is my first time dry brushing right here. I went over green for the all the metal on him. And then I did a dry brush of white with a little bit of blood in there. And you can look at the shield. The dry brushing on the shield came out really good. You can zoom in a little bit more on that. Yeah. It's not perfect, but you get it. Yeah, I went over green and then dry brushed with some white just to make it look old. You can see all in here, just dry brushing with the white just to make the armor look like weathered kinda. Like it's not brand new, he's been wearing it for a while. I can't remember what color I did on for the wings and the skin. It doesn't look, I think the body was brown. Was a dark brown. That might have been the leather brown from War Paints. I believe it was the dark brown, or maybe the fur brown from War Paints. That looks more like the body. And then the wings are a slightly different color, as you can see there. I don't remember what color I used. I wish I could tell you. But I'm not super happy about how the body came out and the wings, to be honest. He has like feathers there. I need to touch those up. But I am happy with the armor and how all this came out. The light dry brushing with the white. This was my first time doing the dry brush. And I realized, it's not hard. So if you're new to this and you're looking to get into it, it's really not too hard to get an elegant looking piece going. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about the body there. And the feathers, because the feathers definitely need to be a new color. But the armor is definitely cool. And the teeth, I definitely want to get a little more blood in there. A different color blood. I think I used pure red for that, but when it dried, it just didn't, like, it looks good from far away, but when I look at it, I'm the artist, so I tend to criticize it more. It looks alright, but I definitely want to get a different color blood in there. But yeah, the armor looks really good. Super easy to get that weathered look with the white dry brushing. Very happy with that. And then here's another one that came out really well. The Outrider Knight. Let's get a focus in on him. I used gunmetal gray for his armor. And then I did a dry brushing of white over everything you can see here. And like over the tips of all these. You just do a light dry brushing of the white over there to give it like that frosty look that he has. Along with the weapon too. If you look at the weapon, I didn't do a deep blue. I can show you what blue I used. I believe it was the ultramarine blue by War Paints. And then I just did the dry brushing of white to give it that frosty look. Again, super easy. I was a beginner when I did this. I still am a beginner, but slightly better now. But yeah, super easy to do and get that frosty look on there. So if you're a beginner, don't be afraid to jump right in. That's the best advice I can give you. And if you can see his face, if I can get the focus in. I just did more of the deep blue in between. Here I used my thinnest brush to get in between the eyes. That came out super nice. And here, if you can see here, I used the gunmetal blue for in between any of the armor pieces and his loincloth. Also gunmetal blue. So anything that's not armor, I just made gunmetal blue just because it matched everything else. But yeah, super easy. The dry brushing gives it such a cool effect with that frosted look. Really happy with how it came out. And again, it wasn't hard. I was very afraid to jump into these, and after I did, I realized it's not as hard to get a nice piece going. Okay, and the last one here in this set is the dancer. Here we go. We went from orange to red on the sword there. I didn't know if I wanted to do the fire sword or the... I know he has the dark magic sword as well. I thought this just looked cooler. I believe I got this idea from another painter on the internet. You know, I got some inspiration from them to see how they did it. And then I did a light. I believe I went over this part in white first. And then dry brushed an orange, reddish thing over it so you can get that detail. It's just a bunch of nice detail in there. You can see the white I did first. And it's like a white hot flame almost. Give it a very nice look. The face, I went with the deep blue for the cape. War Paint's deep blue for the cape and the face. The deep blue is just such a nice color. Like, as you can see, like, I'm a beginner, so I'm not doing any crazy shadowing in here or any of that. But it still came out very good. Very happy with it. You got the gold chains. You just get a thin enough brush, and it's easy to paint. And I don't even have steady hands, really. My hands shake all the time. But if you invest in one of these, it can hold your pieces like this. And you could just place this on the table so the piece is steady, and you don't have a shaky hand holding the piece and a shaky hand painting. You just have a little bit of a shaky hand painting. It makes it easier. And then the armor, I went with the gunmetal gray for the armor, like I do with all my armor. A little bit of gunmetal blue in between any armor, just because it matches. You can see his body in here and stuff is all gunmetal blue. Very proud of how that came out. I'd like to get some shadowing and stuff done in here, but like, I'm still a beginner. I still don't know a lot of technique. I just do this for fun. But yeah, you know, inspiration for beginners. You don't have to know a lot of technique and stuff to get a good looking mini. You just got to jump in and do it. I believe I used a pure red. War Paint's pure red for the jewel there. And you can tell that doesn't look perfect either. Just dotted it on, messed up a little bit. It's not perfect, but you know, from far away and non-painters, you know, people I play the board game with, they all think it looks excellent. So yeah, those are the bosses. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can get some inspiration for your pieces when you paint them. I'll see you next time. Bye.